Hello everyone, and welcome back to War Thunder. I have a shorter video for you today with probably the best game I've managed to play in the Jaguar GR1, which honestly isn't saying much. You see, the Jaguar is one of those planes that should theoretically be extremely competitive, but in reality it's much more frustrating than rewarding, as much as I really want to love it. At a battle rating of 9.7, the Jaguar certainly looks fantastic on paper. It's got twin 30mm ADEN cannons with a generous 300 rounds of ammunition between them, and it can also carry a pair of AIM-9G Sidewinder missiles with an absolutely ridiculous outer lock circle. You can lead these missiles a lot, and with their exceptional range, you can absolutely catch people with their pants down at the start of the game, especially since you get an attacker air spawn. But as effective as the AIM-9Gs are at 9.7, the Jaguar airframe itself is another matter. Honestly, if you slapped two AIM-9Gs onto an F-104 or even a Mitsubishi T2, I personally would be much more comfortable flying that than the Jaguar, and the reason comes down to acceleration. With its sleek airframe and afterburning engine, the Jaguar does have a respectable top speed, but any tiny maneuver in this thing just throws away energy like a leaky bucket. And unlike its contemporaries at 9.7, such as the English Electric Lightning or the T2 that I just mentioned, the acceleration on the Jaguar just isn't enough for you to build up your speed back before you get dogpiled. Now this means you really have only two options when you fly the Jaguar. Either try to keep your speed and boom and zoom, which gets really tedious with the low velocity on the ADENs, or you can commit to dogfights, but you have to pray that a third party doesn't swoop in and snatch you up. Something that goes hand in hand with the Jaguar's terrible energy retention is its extremely high angles of attack. When you pull in this plane, you get the sense that the nose moves, but the plane itself just really doesn't want to change its flight path. It almost feels like the plane is drifting when you take a hard turn, and because of that, trying to do evasive maneuvers against missiles is actually surprisingly difficult. With your lack of flares, this means that if you're ever caught slow or at a high altitude by something with AIM-9Gs or, God forbid, an R-60, you're just toast, which is yet another reason that the Jaguar's dogfighting capabilities only really work in theory. Of course, the high angles of attack are definitely an asset when the enemy is trying to avoid a head-on. All in all, the Jaguar is a great dogfighter with a massive asterisk. You see, its delta wing performance means it's extremely nimble and slippery if you're only being focused by one opponent. And honestly, I am comfortable in 1v1s of the Jaguar. But the truth is, 1v1s don't happen very often in regular combat, and if you just get gunned down or blown up by a missile launched by a third party before you can win the dogfight, then the sad reality is your dogfighting ability just doesn't get the chance to shine. And that's the awkward space where the Jaguar lives. It's got so much potential in its flight performance, but because of the way that it handles, you're forced to play conservatively in a plane that just feels like it should be capable of so much more. And that sense of missing, lost potential is just disappointing. Kind of like the conclusion to this game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the skies.